Well, here I am. I went to see Avengers Infinity War, and wow. I don't think I've ever been more emotionally scarred and speechless at a movie like Avengers Infinity War. Because, just again, I can't even put it into words how good this movie was. Like, seriously, it's just like, wow, that is the word. And it is, right, and this is going to be my personal review on the movie and my overall look of it, and how good I think it was, in my opinion. Things I thought they did good, things I did they did bad, some things I thought they could have improved on, and maybe some personal theories on the movie. Right, so let's waste no time. Let's begin. Right, so let's get straight down into this by talking about the main villain, Thanos. Right, Thanos, also known as the Mad Titan, big purple guy, Josh Brolin, we all know as Mikey's older brother in Goonies. So, but yeah, I was very, very impressed with Josh Brolin's performance as Thanos. Apart from all the other times we've seen him, we first see Thanos in the end credit scene of Avengers, the first Avengers, and we don't really see him speak or anything. We only see him turn around and smile. And for me, when I first watched that, I was like, "Whoa, this guy's going to be big. This is going to be a big guy." And then we got another look at him in Guardians of the Galaxy when he does have some dialect, but not as much scenes in it. He's only sat in his chair then. And we see him in the end credit scene of Avengers Age of Ultron, where he gets the Infinity Gauntlet and goes, "Fine, I'll do it myself." Now that was obviously referring to his choice because to get all the Infinity Stones himself, because at that point he got Loki to retrieve the Tesseract for him. He also even gave him the scepter, which hold the Mind Stone in it, which is now embedded, or was embedded. Oh, also, major spoiler alert as well. If you haven't seen the movie, I suggest you pause the video now, go and watch it, then save the video, come back and watch it then. But yeah, the Mind Stone is no longer in Vision's head, as he is dead now. But yeah, Thanos. Wow, what a performance! Like, jeez, I was not expecting him to. I wasn't expecting what lengths he would go to get all 6 Infinity Stones. Like, seriously, he's sacrificing his daughter just to get. Why? I don't even know anyone who. Well, that's because no one would do that unless they're fucked up in the head. But. Yeah, apart from that, I would probably give Josh Brolin's performance as Thanos 9 out of 10. Honestly, it was spot on, brilliant. Honestly, good quality acting skills from him, even though it was CGI mostly. But yeah, showed good range of emotion for Gamora when he sacrificed her. You could tell he didn't want to. Well, obviously he did want to do it, otherwise he wouldn't have done it. But it hurt him. You could tell it hurt him to do it, and that shows on his skills acting in that point. Well, then moving on to the rest of the movie, we start off in space. It picks up right where Thor Ragnarok left off, where at the end credit scene we see Thor and Loki look up at a much bigger ship. And then, as far as we know, we get transmissions from Asgardians. Most of them are dead. Now, the ship's been totaled. Korg, we don't know what happened to Korg. Korg's the big rock guy. But we don't know what happened to Korg. Our best guess is he's probably died, unfortunately. I know that there's a lot of death in this movie. There's a lot of death. But yeah, And then one thing I actually really loved and I enjoyed, we saw Hulk fucking go at Thanos. Like, wow, he didn't even know what he was getting himself into. Like, he was like, and then it happens. Thanos caught Hulk's fist and totaled him. Literally totaled him to where Hulk was on the floor, knocked out. And a death that came after that was Heimdall, for Idris Elba from the Thor movies. Literally, well, I was not expecting that. Right, and I thought that's where the Soul Stone was with Heimdall, but we were wrong. It turns out it was on an abandoned planet, guarded by Red Skull. Again, another shocker. I knew he weren't dead, but I didn't expect him to see him. I didn't expect to see him there. But yeah, Heimdall sends Hulk back to Earth. Little red dwarf title there, but yeah, Heimdall sends Hulk back to Earth with the Bifrost powers that he has within him. And then that is where Thanos kills Heimdall. Loki gives Thanos the Space Stone from the Tesseract, literally given Thor the impression that he's betrayed him again, which was actually not the case. He gave him the Space Stone, but then quickly intended to kill him, because you could see he got out his knife and ended up getting his neck broke by Thanos. R.I.P. Loki. But we soldier on. Thor is left drifting through space, and Thanos sends his children of Thanos to Earth to retrieve the other Infinity Stones. Sorry, I've got a very itchy nose today. So, and this will be a long video, guys. This will be a long video, but I will edit some bits, but I will try to make it, because I want to give you all the details. So after that, we cut to Earth. We see Tony Stark and Pepper Potts walking through. But before that, we first see Doctor Strange's house, well, his sanctum. Hulk / Banner has now landed in his sanctum, now reverted to Bruce Banner. And he explains to Doctor Strange and Wong and all that, everything that's going on. And again, brilliant. Nearly every actor in this movie has shown quality skills of acting, the range of emotion, body language, everything. See, these drama lessons have paid off for me, actually, even though I say I hate it. But so yeah, after that, Tony Stark, Pepper Potts walking through a park, talking to each other, having a nice romantic day, because I think they're engaged, couple, I don't know. But then Doctor Strange appears out of nowhere, just as Tony Stark says to Pepper Potts, "I'm going to change, that all things put in the past now." Doctor Strange shows up. "Mr. Stark, we need your help." And Tony doesn't even know who this is at this point, which is when Banner comes out from behind him, petrified, but also relieved to see a familiar friend in front of him. Bruce, bearing in mind, hasn't seen anyone apart from Thor for just over 2.5 years. Because, can you imagine how terrified he must be? He was on a strange planet as Hulk and Thor. He's been to Asgard, fought a massive wolf and Zeta. Well, tried to fight Zeta anyway. And then he has also, the amount of stuff Hulk's been through, he's had Scarlet Witch in his mind, making him the most angry I have ever seen him in a movie before. And he stopped a Jatari worm or whatever it was, one punch. Oh, that was chills, that pure scene. But anyway, Tony explains by what is going on. He's like, Thanos, he's a plague. He sent Loki to New York and everything. How he's coming for all 6 Infinity Stones, and now if he already has the power stone from Guardians of the Galaxy, which we already assume he's been to Nova Prime or something and destroyed everything to get it, because he already has it by the time the movie started. He has now got the Space Stone, and that, as Bruce says, that already makes him the strongest being in the galaxy. If he gets his hands on the Reality, Mind, Time, and Soul Stone, then he can wipe out Earth instantly, or all life, which, as we all know, if you've watched the movie, at the end, he actually succeeds. Which, again, I want to talk about that. That was a shock for me. They did something that not a lot of movies do now. The villain actually won. And literally, when we were sat in the movie, I'm not going to lie, tears were shed. Tears were shed on that movie from me. A few other people, if I remember correctly. But yeah, one of the most emotional movies I have ever had to sit through in my life up to this point. I can only imagine what Avengers 4 is going to be like. But yeah, so now, well, after that point, Hulk now is inside Banner but won't come out. After we see him at the beginning, the first battle with Thanos. After that, we don't see him for the rest of the movie. Because then, as children of Thanos come down to Earth, trying to retrieve the Time Stone from Doctor Strange, the Eye of Agamotto. And as they've said, Doctor Strange won't give it up. Tony has a new suit, nanotechnology, brilliant suit, honestly. Iron Man, just brilliant. But, so, Tony's like, great, I think you need to get Hulk out. So, Bruce tries. Hulk actually refuses to come out. Now, see, I had a theory that Hulk was actually afraid of Thanos to coming out, because he gets his ass handed to him. But now, it's obvious that Hulk didn't want to come out because he might genuinely be afraid and does not want to risk anything, so he leaves everyone to it. For one funny scene from it, to be honest with you, Bruce is like, come on Hulk, come out, and then he goes, no, he goes, what do you mean, no? He goes like, screw you, you big green asshole. So, yeah, we don't see Hulk for the rest of the movie, unfortunately. Sorry to all you Hulk fans out there, but we do not see Hulk for the rest of the movie, unfortunately. I am so sorry for the amount of times I'm rubbing my face today. Oh, it has been a long night. I could not sleep. So, after that, a big ship comes down. Bear in mind, Vision, the Avengers are broken up. Sorry, hang on. The Avengers are now broken up following the events of Captain America: Civil War. Big fight. It tore them apart. The Avengers are broken at this point. Captain, Falcon, Black Widow, we don't know where they are until the next bit, but for all we know, they're gone. For now. Vision and Scarlet Witch, on the other hand, we see that Tony hasn't been able to get a hold of Vision. He is vanished. He's run off the radar, and we actually, we see Scarlet Witch and Vision somewhere in Scotland, trying to have they're a couple now. They're actually settling down together. We see Vision in a human form, still has the mind gem, but in a human form, he's trying to live a happy life, which is actually very nice considering everything that's went on. They actually want to settle down together, and that is very nice. Long after that, boom, they get attacked on the streets. They see New York has been attacked again. They need to go home, but they can't because they're attacked then. The fight leads into a train station. Vision is now sliced. He is weak. He's a weak, feeble stage now. Captain America and Falcon and Black Widow show up to bring them in, to take them somewhere safe. And it is amazing considering Captain America abandons his shield. He abandons the Captain America persona. His star's gone. His whole suit is, while looking amazing, it is really weird seeing this part of Captain, because I'm not entirely sure how to describe it myself, but it's It's a bit weird, if you get what I mean. Like, it's a tiny bit weird, but apart from that, he looks amazing in it. Chris Hemsworth, like, well, not Chris Hemsworth. See, there's too many Chris's in this movie. Chris Pratt, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, and then there's Chris Pine, but then he's in DC. We don't talk about DC because Marvel's better, obviously. But anyway, cut to the spaceship in New York, the big donut-looking one. Spider-Man, Peter Parker on a school bus trip, sees it, needs his friend to cause a distraction. So his friend does it, he leaps out the bus, swings into action, helping Tony, and the ship takes Doctor Strange. Funny enough, but yeah, Doctor Strange is now being taken off. Wong stays to protect the Sanctum. Iron Man, Spider-Man, they are now on the ship. Iron Man's given Spider-Man a brand new suit of armour, the Iron Spider suit made of nanotechnology, like Tony's new suit. It is brilliant. It is a brilliant Spider-Man iteration. Bruce been left behind again. He knows they need to call Captain America, but Tony won't because of following the events of Civil War. They are still broken. They are not on talking terms, even though the captain said he'd be there. But now, I think War Machine, having been wounded, his is now okay. He is up and walking in Infinity War. Bruce is wherever Captain is now, which was awkward because Bruce, bear in mind, at the end of Age of Ultron, he abandoned the Avengers and left, not even replying to Black Widow, a girl who we actually thought they were going to get something going. And I'd like to see that. No, I'm not being funny. I wouldn't like to see them go at it, though. Literally, because Big Green, she'd be destroyed. Anyway, cut that bit out. But anyway, so it cuts. Captain takes them to Wakanda because they need somewhere to get. Bruce tells them who's coming. They know what Thanos is wanting. And Vision insists they destroy him to save them all, but Scarlet Witch isn't having it. So they take him to Wakanda, Black Panther's kingdom, and considering those two are on opposing sides in Civil War, they seem on pretty good terms now from what I've seen. It was very confusing for me. I was watching it like, but hold on, those two are... Anyway, it was very confusing. Winter Soldier is up, back again. He is not in cryosleep. He has a new metal arm. Sorry, it's this arm actually. He has a new metal arm made of pure vibranium. So lucky him. So now they're there trying to. Black Panther gets his little sister to perform a surgery on him, which lasts a long time because it goes into the Battle of Wakanda. Cut to Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy floating in space. Guardians have received distress calls from the Asgardians. They've been travelling to get to them. They got there too late. The ship is destroyed, pieces floating everywhere, and Thor hits the screen, which is funny because Rocket's like, "Wipers, get it off!" But they bring him in, and you can tell Star-Lord gets very jealous because he's impressing everyone. He's even impressing Drax, Rocket, Groot, Gamora, Mantis. Everyone's impressed except Star-Lord because he's feeling jealous. He even iterates his voice. He's like, big, posh, god man, like. But anyway, Thor's having none of it. He says, I need to go and forge a weapon to destroy this. Thor is out for revenge. He's lost his brother, he's lost his people, Heimdall, he has lost damn near everything. So, and you can imagine I don't think anyone can imagine what that's like unless you have been through a situation where you have lost everything. But Thor is out for revenge. Groot, who's now a teenager, is very funny, if I might ask, because he's playing a video game. Peter goes, I'm not going to say it again, get that off. And he goes, hey, Groot. And he goes, whoa, language. I want to know what he said. Because literally, teenage group, my man. But literally, right, Thor goes to where his hammer, Mjolnir, was forged in the heart of a dying star, only to find it has been demolished. Well, not demolished. There is only one dwarf left there. I'm sure you'll all know who it is. It's that well-known small fella from Game of Thrones, or I recognise him from Game of Thrones anyway. But yeah, he's the only one left alive there. He said, Thor, you were supposed to protect us. Thor explains what has happened. They forgive each other, and they need to restart the Dying Star engine in order to make him a new weapon worthy of defeating everything, which is Stormbreaker. Another well-known weapon in the comics, not wielded by Thor in the comics, but in the movie it is. But I will put a photo. I will be putting up photos of everything here to make the video. I will even put a backtrack over the minute, because it's a long video. How long has it been going for? 22 minutes I've been chatting for. So yeah, anyway. There's that, and then on the ship with Doctor Strange, you've got Spider-Man, who Iron Man thought he sent back to Earth, but he didn't, because Spider-Man held on for dear life, got on the ship, and now they're forging a plan to get him. And if I'm honest, Spider-Man's seen a lot of good movies. He used something from Star Wars to bring down Ant-Man in Civil War. He's used the end scene of Alien to get rid of the Squidward-looking like man. So now they're all together on the ship, but Tony knows that he cannot bring them back to Earth. He's not dumb. He knows Thanos is looking for the Time Stone. He is not going to give up anything until he gets the Time Stone. So they know they need to keep going wherever this ship's going, which is the planet Titan, Thanos' home world. And we will get back to them in a minute now, because we don't see them for a bit now. What happens next is the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy go to nowhere, where Gamora knows Thanos is going to go. That is where the reality gem is located with the Collector, as he thought. They get there, the whole place is abandoned, and Drax is losing his shit now because he sees Thanos and wants to kill him. But to do that, they stop for a minute. They see Thanos arguing with the Collector, but then Gamora comes out and stabs Thanos in the heart. Very, very shocking, because we even get a back scene of how Gamora became Thanos' daughter. She's not even his biological daughter. He took her from her home world and kept her as his own daughter. But after that, right, I've left it long enough, so I will reply and then I will get right back to you. Right, anyway, so after that, Gamora stabbing Thanos didn't happen. Thanos has already gotten the reality gem, meaning he can make whatever he wants reality. He reverts it back. Nowhere is destroyed. The Collector is dead. The whole place is on fire. Thanos knew Gamora was coming. Without a doubt, he knew she was going to come for him. And he needed her to do that because she knows where the Soul Stone is. And she lied to him, telling him that she didn't know. And she made Star-Lord promise that if Thanos gets here, that he has to kill her. Which, at first, Peter wants to keep his promise, even though he loves her. and it's very hard if the person you love tells you to kill them. It's a very hard task to do. Not that I would know, but I've played games where I've had to do that, and it is a hard choice to make. But he shoots his gun to kill her. Nothing comes out except bubbles. Thanos is manipulating reality again and again, and he brings Gamora back to his ship. He shows her Nebula, who is being tortured until Gamora tells him where the Soul Stone is. They go to where the Soul Stone is, which is where we meet Red Skull for the second time. Not in the movie, but in the whole MCU. We only seen him once in the Captain America First Avenger movie. The last we saw of him was he held the Tesseract in his hand and got beamed to this planet where he has been the guardian of the Soul Stone. He now knows everything, like literally, he's got all knowledge. He knows Thanos, he knows everyone. And he explains to Thanos, to get the Soul Stone, it requires a soul. So, and he said, it needs a sacrifice in order to get the Soul Stone, preferably of a loved one. Gamora is laughing now because she knows Thanos doesn't love anyone. And that isn't entirely true. Because as we see in the movie, Thanos starts to cry because the only person he loves is Gamora. She may not have been his actual daughter, but he loved her enough to treat her like she was his own biological daughter. So she's now shocked, and he said, I gave up on my destiny once. I cannot do it again. Not even for you. That's where one of the saddest moments in the movie for me. He grabs her, and while still crying, by the way, the soundtrack to that scene is unbelievable. I thought it was amazing, the soundtrack they do, and he lets go off a cliff. Gamora falls and dead. Thanos is beamed somewhere. He then wakes up at the bottom of the hill where he had to walk up with the Soul Stone in hand. So he now has the space, power, reality, Soul Stone now. He is only in need of the time and Mind Stone. So Thanos is very close to winning at this point. Back on Wakanda, loads of alien-like creatures with the children of Thanos are attacking Wakanda. They're buying Black Panther's sister as much time as she needs to get the Mind Stone out. Hulk is still refusing to come out at this point. He will not come out whatsoever. So Banner has concluded to wearing Hulkbuster armor, which is basically like Hulk. He's like, it's like being Hulk, but not actually. Boom, and he falls over. It's a funny scene. But they're all fighting at this point now. Like Captain America, Falcon, War Machine, Scarlet Witch. They're all fighting these alien-like creatures. And on the Dying Star, Thor helps restart it, the star, so he can make his new weapon, Stormbreaker. And Thor nearly dies because the beam of the light is killing him as he is holding open the door to let light in. Groot does a very adult thing here. He puts his game down and sees that Thor needs the hammer / axe to get up. He even puts it together with his own arm, cutting it off to keep it together, which then brings Thor. He is up, strong, and ready for action. Bear in mind, Thor now has a new eye given to him by Rocket, and with another funny scene, he just puts it in straight when he goes, "Oh, I would have watched that first. The only way I could get it out of there was up my head," and doesn't finish the sentence. So we know the eye's been up his ass, and now he's got a raccoon eye in his. Anyway, the Battle of Wakanda is still happening. Thor beams down with for some reason he now has the Bifrost powers as well, like Heimdall. But he beams down there, and it is another very chilling scene because, well, if you're a massive nerd like I am, it's very chilling for you because you're watching it and you're like, whoa, this is amazing. Like, oh my god, I can't even put it into words how epic it is. But on Titan, Doctor Strange is using all the power he can to see if there are any abilities, well, if there are any realities where they win this battle. There are over 14 million possibilities, and in only one of those realities do they win. So their chances of winning are very small at this point. So, and again, the acting from everyone in this movie, they know that at any point their life could just end with the snap of a finger, and literally that'll come into play more on. I'm not long of a talk for now. 32 minutes, a half-hour video. That's not bad for me. But now, so Thanos is now going to Titan, his own planet. He knows that's where the ship was heading. They go there. He goes there, and they come up with a plan, as you've seen in the trailer, where they're coming up with a plan, and Star-Lord says, "Let's talk about this plan of yours. I think it's good, except it sucks. So let me come up with the plan, and that way it might be really good." Wow. Literally. So they come up with a plan. Doctor Strange creates a diversion, talking to Thanos first, getting him to talk about the past of the planet, why it's destroyed. And that's when their plan comes into play. He says, Doctor Strange goes, "We will not let you do something with our..." But he says the words "our," and I can't remember exactly what he said, because I'm still getting over traumatized from it. It was a very good movie, and he goes, "our," and the plan comes. They're attacking Thanos with everything they've got. They're throwing everything they have at him, and their plan almost works. It is this close to working. All they need is one more thing to do, and that is it. They're holding him in place. They need to get the gauntlet off him, and Mantis is doing and using all their power to keep Thanos in a knocked out state. But he is fighting. Thanos is strong. He is fighting it back, but not as much. Star-Lord is now shouting at him, saying, "Where is Gamora? What have you done?" Everything. And Mantis is saying he's grieving. He feels pain and suffering. And they're like, what could he possibly feel pain for? Nebula has travelled to Titan to meet them, and she already knows what's happened at this point. She goes, "Gamora's gone." This sends Star-Lord into a angry frenzy. He ruins the plan, and in my personal opinion, Star-Lord, if he had kept us cool just that little bit longer, their plan would have worked. But I understand he just found out his girlfriend is dead and killed by her own father. That would make you angry. So he loses his shit and starts flipping at them. Thanos wakes up, pulls the gauntlet back on. Their plan is ruined at this point. He throws a moon at them, literally a full moon at them with the power of the gauntlet. And he is about to kill Tony. And he does stab him. He stabs him, his wounds are fatal. And, as he's about to kill him, he respects him. Thanos respects Tony Stark. He looks at him and he goes, "I hope they remember you." And everything. And he goes, "When I'm done, half of humanity will still be alive." At that point, Doctor Strange does something I was never expecting him to do. He gives up the Time Stone. He literally says, "I will trade the Time Stone for his life." Now, this is where my theory is coming into play. He gives him the time stone, takes it on. What he needs one more stone. He's literally got everyone there, and he needs the mind stone. So after that, he goes to Earth, Wakanda, and at this point, they've given up hope. The Iron Man, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Drax, Mantis, Star-Lord, they've given up. They know they can't do anything now. They've got nowhere to go. So, and Nebula as well. So they're like, he's like, why did you do that? And I was like, he doesn't say anything then, but on Wakanda now, Vision is up and about. The operation failed. He got distracted. It got destroyed. Vision is now still got the Mind Stone, but is weak. He is very weak. And Scarlet Witch now is defending him with all she got, but as Thanos shows up, she knows she has to destroy the Mind Stone, but it pains her to do it. So she does it, destroying it, killing Vision. Thanos says, I understand why you did it, but now is not the time for death, or something, and rewinds time, bringing him back to life, just so he could rip the Mind Stone from his head and place it on. At this point, Thanos has won. His quest was to find all 6 Infinity Stones, and he got them. Thor comes in, throwing Stormbreaker at him, fighting the power of the gauntlet, and stabs him in the chest with the axe bit of the hammer and forces it in even more. The last words of Thanos before anything happens is, you should have gone for the head. And a very famous scene from one of the comics where Thanos has the gauntlet and all stones. After he says, you should have gone for the head. Boom. Thanos has won at this point. In the trailers it said he could wipe out the whole of the universe with the snap of his fingers. And that's exactly what he did. People start to die. First one to die was Bucky, the Winter Soldier. Next, loads of people started dropping. Drax, Mantis, Groot. I don't think Rocket died. I think Rocket's still going. But Vision, he was already dead, but Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man. That's the death that got me there. Spider-Man. He's 15 or 16 supposed to be in the movie. And his last words to Tony Stark was, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. Crying. And he says to Tony, I'm sorry. And then he dies. But Doctor Strange's final words before he disintegrates into dust is, Tony, it was the only way. That's where my theory comes into play, actually. Over the 14 million realities where they lost, one of them realities they won. There's a chance that the reality where they won required Thanos to get all 6 Infinity Stones and wipe out most of them. Because it's the only thing that makes sense. Doctor Strange wouldn't give up on winning one of the realities where they won just for nothing. So, at this point now, most people are dead, right? And some of them are still alive. Captain America, Black Widow, Iron Man, Wong, Bruce Banner, the Hulk, they're still alive. And I think this is Thanos keeping his word how half of humanity will still be alive. So, and then, at that point, black screen, the credits start rolling. However, Thanos is now sat on a planet with the Infinity Gauntlet still on. However, it is totaled. We don't know what happened to it, but the Infinity Gauntlet is totaled. It's just ruined, the gems are broken, and he's sat there on a planet looking at the sunset, and he's happy. He's achieved his mission. He knows he's done what he had to do. The credits start rolling. I was very, very sad at that point. I get very emotionally attached to these movie characters, and the reason I get so emotionally attached is because I'll talk about that in another video why I act the way I do. But at this point, end credit scene, we see Nick Fury and Maria Hill. They're in New York, they're driving down, and a car hits them, they get out, no one is at the wheel. They look up, a helicopter is crashing, people are disintegrating. Nick Fury says, contact whoever it is, well, someone who helped them in Winter Soldier. He said, contact someone, and then he goes, sir, and then Maria Hill is gone. He's like, oh shit. He goes back to the car, he knows something bad's happening. He picks out like a sort of 90s beeper or something, and as he's doing it, he even manages to get a last line, doesn't even finish it, but he disintegrates. He sent his message, and the logo that's shown on the beeper is Captain Marvel. Now, that 2 movies before Avengers 4 that will be coming out are Ant-Man and the Wasp, which takes place just before Infinity War, which will probably tell us where they were during it, and possibly where Hawkeye is, because we don't see him at all. Then we have Captain Marvel, which is another prequel to everything. It takes place in the 90s, and from set photos we've seen Captain Marvel in a suit. We also see Maria Hill and Nick Fury, but without his eye patch. We will probably see how he lost his eye. And apparently Captain Marvel was the first power person he ever met. So he probably gave her a beeper and said, if I ever need you, I will contact you. So, yeah, in conclusion, Avengers Infinity War is, and this is fact as well, this is on IMDb movie rating site, Avengers Infinity War is the best Marvel movie they have ever made. It gets a rating of 9.1 out of 10. And the highest movie before that got rated was 8.1, and that was Avengers Assemble. This is a whole new level now. The only thing they can do to reverse everything that happened in order to save them is time travel, which they have really revealed in set photos where they go back to the Battle of New York. We see Ant-Man, Captain America, everyone alive again. But apart from that, I do not know where they're going to go with this. I can only hope it'll be amazing. But apart from that, guys, that has been my review on Avengers Infinity War. I would really recommend. I'm thinking of going to see it again just because it was that good. It made me cry, and it takes a lot to make me cry. But I would recommend you go and see the movie, right? And if you're one of these people who hasn't seen it and you stayed to watch the video, it's your own fault. I did say major spoilers. I've basically just told you the entire movie. But if you stayed, then that's your own doing. So I would recommend you go and see the movie with whatever. Take a friend, take a family member. Do not go and see this movie alone. I would recommend. My best friend went to see it on her own, and I'd have loved to have went to see it, but things would happen at the time, so I didn't go. But now, go and watch Avengers Infinity War. It is amazing. Literally, it is literally amazing. So guys, all I can say, 45 minutes I've been talking now. This is the longest video I've ever made on this channel, so I really hope it was worth your time. Thank you for taking your time out of your lives to sit down and watch the video, and leave a comment down below what you would like to see me do in the next video. And apart from that, guys, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.